Hello and welcome to yet another cast. For you today I have a 4v4 played on the matchmaker on the map of Project Tabula. Never played this map and it's looking quite interesting. I'm gonna talk about that right after I finish the player introductions. We have Team 1 up here in the north, Team 2 down here on the bottom, and in the easternmost slot for Team 1 in Cyan, going Cybran and opening first land, we have Exalt. Then to the northwest of that, in purple, and going UEF, opening first land, we have Papakababa. God, that's hard to say. Then to the north of that, in the rear position, probably the air slot, in blue, and going Aeon, opening first air, we have Nemoshira. And last but not least, for the northern team, is in the south of that, in blue, in dark blue actually, and also going UF, opening first land, we have Adlordi. Now, the southern team, on their westernmost slot in burgundy red, and going Cybran, opening first land, we have Beta. Then to the east of that, in orange, going UF and opening first land as well, we have Gugue. I guess the mid players just really weird names today. Then in the rear position, probably the air slot, in red and also going Cybran, opening first land, we have Sinsegi. And last but not least, in piss purple and also opening first land, also going Cybran, we have Info Action Ratio. Right, that's all players introduced. Let's take a look at the map. We have this nice ring thingy in the middle. The other thing, or this plateau in the middle with some stuff in the middle of that, and this massive area down here around that is in total 20 by 20k, as we can see right here. However, I'm pretty sure that there's no way to actually get down here. I suspect that this is actually the void stuff or too uneven terrain, so even if you did drop stuff down there with transports, it would probably just die. You might be able to drop energies on that water, but that's too far away to be of any importance, so yeah, no real stuff there. And with that outer area not being of any importance to the game anyway, and probably not usable in any sense, it's actually used to an interesting extent to just, well, give more detail to the map, optics-wise, since that did allow them to just have a unsymmetrical outer area, with that actual battlefield area being symmetrical, which does make it look a lot more interesting. And for all intents and purposes, the map is still symmetrical, since if you look at Reclaim, all Reclaim is on that plateau or the middle. That is still pathable, and all Max is also spread out on that, so as already said, not of any importance. Now, Mantis taking out energy right here. Issue of Infection Ratio pushing out quite aggressively right now. Gonna try and grab this Max. And I was correct, that painting tool does actually place the dots sometimes a bit closer than other times in some replays. I don't know why that is. As I did complain about that in last cast. Weird. Now, players moving forward with their ACUs. Gugue actually keeping that ACU at the front for now, just as some extra build power. And utilizing just spam to secure the middle. Out of Reclaim to be collected, bunch of big rocks. Those will definitely get up quite a bit of quite a few T2 maxes. That's what I want to say. And much of that probably has already been reclaimed, but there are still 23k mass left on the map right now. And well, there were around 8k more, so let's say roughly 32k mass in total as reclaim on the map at the start. Bunch of that has been reclaimed already, looking at that, but still shit tons to collect. And we will probably see some early T2 maxes out from that, or some early T2 maxes being built from that. Or, well, we won't see it directly because I usually don't pay too much attention to that kind of stuff, as it's not interesting as the battle's going on. Though stuff currently takes some time to get started. There is a T1 bomber that was built up by Senzigi. However, there was already a railgun turret out from Purple. That name is just too hard for me to pronounce, so they are gonna be just Purple for now. And that railgun turret was already just enough to prevent that bomber from doing any major damage. They just wanted to use to defend the ACU, or they did just use that to defend the ACU on this position, I guess. Now, Purple going for gun. I think that's the first upgrade of the game. And with that, they will most likely be able to put quite a bit of pressure on Gugei, who doesn't use that command at the front line and currently only has some spam. And now they could probably already pressure it as is. Gun also coming out from Beta. That will also allow quite a lot of pressuring against Lordi. And a whole bunch of T1 power queued up. I guess just for purposes of not having to build any T2. Let's see, how much is that? That's 133 T1 P-gens. Holy shit. And let me just do some quick math. That's basically a T3 max, not T3 max, a T3 P-gen worth of T1 power. So horribly inefficient, but it will definitely avoid any power stalls, I guess. At least I'm pretty sure that T3 power would be a lot more efficient both space and mass-wise. Now, Nimashira using that commander currently to defend. There was a raider taken out, that was built up by Exot that did get taken out by a quick run-by of info-action ratio, who is now going 42, wanting to firebase a bit, I guess. Let's see. What is Arana is up to? There are now already Mongees out from Lordi that are currently dealing with Mantises that have been pushing on Beta. So I guess the reason that that Beta was able to push them back this heavily was just due to them rushing T2. And, well, they did do that quite successfully. Now, Mongoose, if they can macro that, really strong. But they don't have the HP of most of the other UEF units. They are quite squishy and rely on their high range and high DPS to survive. Though if macroed properly, they are super strong. But if you don't have the ability to macro them properly, you're generally better off just going for pillars. Now, Exot did go gun and is already getting stealth. Purple is just pushing with that gun ACU now in the middle, and as I suspected, not much Gaigai can currently do against that, though they are at T2 and they are building pillars. And without any survivability upgrades on that ACU, those could be a bit of an issue, though. Let's see, do they have the ability to overcharge? Yes, they do. So they can just overcharge those pillars away. Because an overcharge can easily do 1500 damage, as we can see right there, if that's just going down. And that is you just starting to that quite a bit, just, well, tier 2 having that gun upgrade and getting fed with quite a bit of spam. Exot finishes stealth, so the commander is going to be annoying to deal with now because it's invisible. At least on radar. Gun speed going up for Nemoshira. So we'll be seeing, I guess we'll be seeing a double gun com action on this side. And we have a bunch of Cerberus now coming out from Infection Ratio, who did actually spot Exot. And they already have some T2PD that is forcing that ACU back. However, the problem with that being that ideally infection ratio needs to keep that ACU a bit in front of those Cerberus, since the ACU does have a higher vision range than the Cerberus turret. And since we are just at 10 minutes, sorry, the likelihood of infection ratio getting any Omni up to the front to find that ACU are quite low. Well, but at 10 minutes, let's take a look at how air is looking. We have Tier 3 air going up for Sinzigi, currently, 45% done. And they are currently still working on a second T2P gen. Are they power stalling? No, they are not, though they were getting overflow from their teammates. And currently no T3 air on the way for Nimashira. Though Aeon doesn't suffer as much when at T2 against T3 as they get their Swiftwind and the as a T2 fighter, which is quite powerful, but still doesn't try well against ASF. Now on this side, Neoshira did actually finish the double gun upgrade now on that ACU. No, it is only normal range, not the advanced range, meaning that it has the same range as that Cyclone Commander. The problem with that still being, it's now 2 gun comms against the T2 Commander of infraction ratio and much of their spam. And they have gone for quite a few hoplites. For the hoplite, the same goes as for the Mongoose. It is a low HP but high range unit with some pretty decent DPS. Though the projectiles are a bit slower and the firing cycle is a bit different, since you just fire these missile volleys out of these spots. But they still fulfill the same role as the Mongoose for the UEF. And they have some weird 5-leg setup where they just use 5 legs to move around. I mean, to be fair, the hind leg is just used to basically stabilize the unit while you have those 2 legs at the front and 2 at the side, which I guess if you just have to worry about some knockback and stuff like that, a unit that that's not supposed to be as mobile, in theory would make sense. Definitely wonky layout, probably not any use in a realistic setting, but hey, this is sci-fi. Units don't need to be realistic. I mean, we have literal rapid fire artillery in this game that can just fire over the entire map. Now, Purple did successfully get the low grounds in the middle, get basically full control over that successfully, and has actually gotten nano on that ACU as well, making that quite the menace. Especially with 3 ranks of veterancy, that's 17k HP. So that is going to be nasty to kill, especially with that regen as well. And they are slowly pushing on, but that ACU is super dangerous right now, though they only have T1 spam currently with them. Scratch that, there is actually T2 moving up, there are parachutes there. Parachutes, pillars, so T2 coming up for that as well now. Sinzigi using some course airs to try and deal with that ACU. But that ACU just continues sweating and now has 76 regen, which, with some good dodging against those course airs, will most likely be enough to just stay alive. However, it won't be enough to stay alive forever against those Cerberus just firing onto that ACU. Or it won't be enough either if that ACU just stands still. But bunch of reclaim right here, let's take a look how much we have here, 5k. So, well, Guge should definitely reinvest those 5k into some more useful stuff. Just a whole bunch of shimmers now coming out from Nimashira harassing the staff of Sinzigi. Taking out one max right here, and taking out the engineers that were capping this max. They are currently in T's out, and Tier 3 air has been achieved by them. They are currently building their Tier 3 regen, and I think they may have accidentally set that those Tier 3 energies on repeat build. Well, I was about to say they have nowhere near the mass, but installing this much on your Tier 3 regen on mass isn't actually that bad. Like, yeah, they have too much build power, but not that ridiculously amount of too much. It is still manageable. Far from ideal, of course, but I've seen worse. Now, infraction ratio, by the looks of it, trying to get some defenses up here to front, getting up some TMDs against some Vipers that are in proximity. Senseki also building some land to help out. And I think we might see some firebasing going on in this area. How successful will remain to be seen. Also, I'm curious, will those mongoose be microed properly? Well, they are staying at range currently, so maybe they are. Also looking up here, we have a bunch of pillars in the front, followed by a bunch of mongoose and a bunch of tree generators. That's not a stupid formation, to be honest, as pillars do have a bunch of HP and just can't tank the damage. Especially with the assistance of those parashields that basically just triple the HP pool. And those mongoose just have... and that way the mongoose just stay a bit back and can pour in their long range damage. You haven't lies. The pony, I'm confused what you're on about. As always. Now the sublights up here being utilized against the Cerberus, getting in some damage as well as some MMLs in the area. And that Cerberus currently just targeting onto the ground because cliffs. That commander of Nimashira now does have shield, making it a lot more survivable, giving it 8k additional HP. So that's gonna be nasty to deal with as well. And by the looks of it, Tier 3 has been achieved by Gay, who is now utilizing that to regain control of the middle area in the lower ground. And up here, apparently the units of Adlordi did get taken out in the end, so I mean the pillars did die on the front. And I guess, as I pointed out, Mongoose not that tank, he just got easily taken out by these rhinos then. But at Lordi, by the looks of it, also with the support of Purple being able to support to defend against that quite successfully. Let's see how's it looking here. Quite a bit of firebasing going on from Exot, who is even building up a gunfall. And is actually firebasing close enough to the position of infraction ratio to pummel that shield. Let's take a look at the actual range on that Cerberus. And yes, that can actually hit this max and this T1 P-gen. It's really bad for defending this area because, well, that's gonna make it really, because shields need some time to not take damage in some time before they regen properly. I'm not sure what the exact time is, I think that also varies from shield to shield, but basically if you have continuous fire, like for example from PD, you're not gonna be able to regen your shield, making that completely pointless. But shit does go down. The army of Exort moves in. And, well, to be fair, there are bricks out from infraction ratio that are going to defend somewhat well. And they are also going for a Monkey Lord. That will definitely be able to do quite well right here. However, that firebase is lost, and their main base is currently also under major threat from both that arty and those MMLs in this area. I don't think they will be able to hold on to this position. At least not until they can take out that firebase. But already 38% done on that monkey, so... well, not too bad. Nano going up for Lordy, so I guess they did just take too much damage for their own, in their opinion, after using that commander to take out the remnants of Beta's push. I mean, understandable. And we have some pulses up here in the middle now as well. Those will be quite useful in, dealing with those pillars and also just pumping in that damage into those parashields. Okay. Bunch of HQs actually out from Beta, that was probably a misclick. Right here, just producing that T2. Support factories would have been a lot cheaper, but I've made that mistake myself in the past with an air grid, so I'm not gonna be too judgy. It happens. It happens to the best of us. And especially if you're like halfway done on that upgrade, it's just, it's no longer really worth cancelling that. God, the clouds, if you zoom out, are just really, really getting on my nerves a bit. I mean, nice touch, but it's still weird when you zoom out to a strategic view. And though it is nice to look at. Now, T3 Air is out for Nemoshiro as well, not too surprising. We are at 20 minutes, so they should definitely have T3 Air out. Unsurprisingly, T3 Air out also for Sensegi, who is currently working on a proper air grid. They seem to be building quite slowly. Are they stalling? Yes, they are stalling quite a bit, building this quantum gateway and the shield generator at the same time. And also this P-gen, so yeah, and this P-gen, yeah, they're building a lot of stuff at the same time, so that mass stall isn't too surprising. It is to be expected. Exert going nano, and well, that don't have the timer because I switched to another player's view. Yep, it also doesn't help to go into their view, so no idea how far that is along. By looks of it, a lot of the build power that was here did get taken out for infection ratio, but they are desperately trying to get that monkey load up, and at 90% that is definitely fair enough. Run by of a bunch of rhinos out from Exart, and those did take out a few mexes, this one definitely. Not sure if this one was alive, or this one probably did already get taken out by the SPD, or just the initial spam that secured the current positions right here. Monkey at 95%, so that will most likely complete, meaning that there is actually an experimental there. And that run by did get taken out in the end. Bunch more maxes going down, very painful to see. Ras going up for Gugei, so more eco out for them. Fair enough. And I know I say fair enough a lot. And we are now also looking at Titans out from Adlordi, though. Once again, we are at over 20 minutes, so we would, it's to be expected that everyone is at Q3 land, and yes. We also see Percy's coming out from Purple. T3 here, I already pointed out earlier. And yes, there's also T3 land right here that was producing pretty speed earlier. Monkey Lord does end up finishing, and it pushes onto the north, going through there. This firebase is also quite dangerous, but I guess what could be done is just looping around the back and, well, taking that firebase on from behind. kinda encircling the area. That will be the most important part thing to take out will most likely be that Gunther, but I mean the PD is also gonna be a nuisance. And by the looks of it, Nimoshira and Exot both very close to that front line currently, not taking into account that there was a monkey under construction, taking a lot of damage, both getting a few overcharges into that monkey lord, dealing a lot of damage. That does go down into red, but it takes out Nimoshira and Exot. So at the 33-minute mark, 2 players already going down for the northern team. Though it is the 2 lowest rated players, to be fair. Right, I'm not gonna read out loud what infection ratio says, but they let's just say they are very happy about getting about that successful push with that monkey. And I mean, you probably all can read for yourself. I don't think YouTube compression will do this too badly. Still should be readable, at least if you're watching this at actually 1080p on a and not on a phone. Not sure how it will look on a phone if you can actually read the text. Well, it's probably gonna be fine. But there are some units trying to pull back out from not in the control of purple, and I'm really stuttering right now for some reason. Trying to deal with that monkey, but that is just not having it, and well, it does take that stuff out. Nothing too impressive. It is actually moving back into to the front right here. I still think the best solution for this firebase would have been just going in through the back like that, and okay, monkey does move back a bit. Have control in the middle, basically down the middle. So everything quite even, and small push out here. Let's see how that goes, and while we look at that, let's also in the meantime take a short look at the economies. Unsurprisingly, purple currently leading the pack at 463. They are sitting on triple base, so that is to be expected. Team 2 but still ahead though on total mass income, if you add everything up, with around 700 mass. Or 690, 700, jumping somewhere in that area. Almost, well, around 80 mass ahead of their opponents. Push going on here, in the middle with between some Titans and Perseus against, well, Perseus, Mongoose, some stuff like that, out from purple. And where is the monkey? It's right here. And by the looks of it, it's going to move into the middle. Just clean all of that up. And, I mean, especially with those Perseus just streaming in, that will actually be quite easy. Also, Kinder's actually... Those can see the Monkey Lord, but I guess also just some stuff like elevation and stuff like that on the cliffs and on the cannons make that shit really hard. There are a bunch of rosters coming out from purple to try and deal with that. Try and take out the monkey and the supporting army, but let's see, is there any air control out? There are some ASF moving in from Sinzigi. Though there is also proper A coverage in the back, so not too sure how that will go. And the resources do still end up going down to just a whole bunch of T1 inties out from Lugay. Now, ML's being utilized right here to some pretty great effect, causing taking out quite a lot of stuff right here, including the artillery, meaning that the base of infection ratio is actually safe again, after quite some time. And the monkey now standing right here on the cliff, and just firing down there with its two little sponsoon guns, with those plasma bolters. Generally also harbingers of doom if you can see those, because monkey is stealthed, meaning that it doesn't pick up on radar, and the first thing you will see usually are those bolters just firing into your stuff. And when you see that happening, it's basically too late, because, well, unless you have an army to actually kill a monkey lord, you're doomed. Especially if you still have your commander at the front line. Those MLs doing a lot of work, all of them vetted at least once. Most of them actually twice. And yeah, there are nowhere near enough zappers to defend against all of that. Though to be fair, I don't think it would be possible to build enough zappers to defend against that. Those missiles being Cypher doesn't help either. The monkey lord does actually end up just going down through the back into the firebase. And it does end up going down now. Meantime, a fat boy has been built up by Adlordi, and they are slowly pushing forward with that. Also able to just deny a massive area. Because, well, fat boy just has range, if you look at that. And it's really good at just taking out armies. And there's currently nothing in the area to properly counter that. The thing that the fat boy does not have is viability, so a solution for that would be to just either rush it down, or the other option that you have is a bunch of T2 artillery installations to defend. Though I don't think those can be built up in time anymore. Purple also finishes an experimental, it's a monkey lord, right here. However, let's take a look at this monkey lord, and that's a 5 rank veterancy monkey lord. Even though it's a bit damaged, it still has over 10k more HP than the monkey lord that just finished for purple. So that won't be a fight that purple wants to take right now. Because at this state they will just definitely lose that. Experimental out for Beta, and they do finish a monkey lord of their own, which will be enough to defend against that land spam. However, with that fat boy continuing to fire in, I'm pretty sure that that will not be enough to completely defend. That stuff does go down and it continues to take fire. Ah, never mind, might walk out, let's see. Yeah, it's not being targeted down. Potentially due to its stealth. Yeah, they just can't see it right now. So they can't properly target it. And the monkey now pouring damage into that fat boy. Getting close enough that the fat boy actually starts using its close-in Gatling cannons. The one thing you never want to use with your fat boy, because if those need to be used, then you're way too close. But the monkey lord does take a lot of damage. However, it is still able to move in close enough and take out the fat boy. Though it's nearly dead after that. Infraction ratio going for cloaking, not wishing to be sniped, I guess. That is really, really hard to find with that, as you need Omni coverage to see it. And the only way to find that on the opposing side of the map is generally just with the use of spy planes. This monkey is still alive. It did take some more damage, probably from something going on this side. But it still has more HP than that monkey lord right here. The northern monkey lord. However, second monkey lord about to finish for purple, and there it is. Also a bunch of Astoros out, so... yeah, not too sure. Currently can't actually see how much mass that Monkey 4 infection ratio has. Good, it's 63k. Not the highest we've ever seen on this channel, but that's the decent, that's the good enough. That monkey still paid for itself, and while losing it would still suck because it's still an experimenter, still a bunch of damage. It has done its job at this point, killing all of that mass, so it could be worse. All in all, it would still be a mass positive trade. Okay, pushing up their army out from the lower areas right here and now pushing into the base of Lordi, who has quite a few of their own Titans and Possibles, and thus end up taking out the push of Gay by the looks of it. Though apparently they were also trying to build a Novak center, trying to get into some standoff tech. That is going on. Let's see if there's anything similar going on or being built on any other parts of the map. Currently can't see any. I don't think there is any project like that. No. No, there isn't. So all the players currently going just for land stuff. Well, land and air, just normal combat units. Nothing too impressive there. Monkey right here now. What happened to the other two monkeys? Right, one is there, one is there. We now do have a bunch of Astoros moving in. And those are definitely a big threat to this Monkey Lord. Infection ratio recognizing that and pulling back. Because if they do go for the engage with another monkey with that, all of those resources will just cause them to lose that. Since all that additional damage will be too much to deal with, basically. But big air wave coming out from Gugay, and that does take out the Restore Cloud. And I completely missed that Sinsiki apparently gifted over all of their stuff to Gugay, the highest rated player of their team, to take care of that. For some reason. I guess they had to go or something like that, and just decided to give their stuff over. But didn't leave the game for whatever reason. Well, stuff like that sometimes does happen. Always sucks, but not really much you can do, because people tend to have a real life. That generally should come before finishing a game of subcom. I know, blasphemous, that subcom is the most important thing in your life, but I mean, come on. Purple? Not gonna try and pronounce that. Was about to, but no, nope. Has gone for us, and also quite a lot of survivability upgrades on Commander. About 40k HP, that's gonna be really, really hard to snipe. 27k HP on that is you without any veterancy for infection ratio. With that cloak. And 88 regen. So yeah, that's also gonna be really annoying to snipe. Or take out. Now, two Monkey Lords pushing in here for beta. One immediately goes down when I point out that it exists. Well, there is a fat boy right here that is pumping in damage into that. Army of bricks now moving in behind that. Bunch of turrets up here as well, a shit ton of Percivals, so that monkey will just go down. There it goes. And I also think that these bricks will experience the same fate. Another fat boy under construction already. And if If it really just gets up a critical mass of Fat Boys, it's basically gonna be impossible to defend against that, because just mass Fat Boy is really hard to deal with. What do we have here? A Scatheless under construction from purple. What does the eco look like? 685? You can definitely try and go for a game ender with that mass income. I mean, it's not perfect, but you can definitely try. And since there are no other game enders currently under construction, that will most likely actually be enough to finish this off. Like, yeah, that game ender is probably gonna finish before the before there's gonna be a response of the opposing team. Though Team 2 is at 1300 mass income against 1k mass income, so that's a big difference. We will have to see how that does affect stuff going forward. Gugay actually getting close to Purple's mass income, even though that Gugay is only sitting at double base, not triple base. However, they are currently not doing too great on air, because lots of SAMs right here, bunch of gunships right here, or not any gunships but restorers that also are basically just mobile SAMs. Like Restorer AA is insane. Now on this side, big push of Percy's, 2 Fat Boys pushing in. That's a pain to defend. The brick army for Beta has already died. Was basically completely wiped out already. And the monkey does just go down to Percyfire. And Fat Boys continue moving in and just shred everything that's left. Not looking too great. They are building another monkey, but it's very close to front line. And probably very close to taking fire already. Definitely not what you want to see. Though they are about to finish a Megalith. Lordy finishes another experimental, it's another Fat Boy. And apparently some units right here out from Gugay managed to run by and get up to that walkway up there. However, there is just so many restorers taking those out now. Just firing into that. And these Fat Boys just... well... they are just there, and that's gonna be an issue. Because, okay, there is one Megalith, but you can already see how much damage that is taken just from those 2 Fat Boys. This Fat Boy is taking a lot of damage on its shield now, but there are now also Percy's moving into range of that, and... okay, one Fat Boy will actually go down, but I'm pretty sure the second one will survive this. Yeah, Megalith does go down into the red. And... there it goes. Now, monkey out as well. Another monkey tried to be started right here, but that's probably not gonna finish. Even be surprised if that monkey gets to take out this Fat Boy, which has 4 ranks of veterancy now. Maybe, no. No, it won't. Another Fat Boy coming in from the north, reinforcing the entire situation, and got this just an experimental graveyard. Let's see how much mass we have right here. 162 mass. They could go for a Scatheless from that. Like, it's not quite enough to build a Scatheless, but with your general mass income and stuff like that, you can just afford a Scatheless off of that. Though while under this kind of pressure, you don't want to build a Scatheless. which is completely reasonable. But they could get so many experimentals just reclaiming all of the mass that's in this area. Because Jesus, that's just so much. So much. Megalith and Monkey out up here in the north for purple. And I suspect that this monkey rack right here might be the super batted monkey we've seen earlier. And interaction ratio switches from stealth to actually to teleporter. So I guess trying to get a tele snipe. How's stuff looking? The scav is around halfway done. Or a bit over halfway done. And any counter game ender is currently under construction. No, just a bunch of monkey lords being built by everyone. Well, and Fat Boy's out for gay as well. Right, by the looks of it, Gugay's solution to the current Fat Boy spam coming out from Ed Lordy is just sending in their own Fat Boy into the general area. Though I think the most sensible thing that Beta could do right now, where they still have a base, is get some T2RT into that and try and get that into the range of these Fat Boys. As that is one big weakness of the Fat Boy. It's really easily countered by a bunch of T2RT, since it's being outranged and with its low HP pool, it just can't really hold out against that. It has a really hard time pushing against that. Now, infection ratio goes in for a tally. And that is a tally against Ed Lordy. Right here. Right next to that. You see this big, annoying, big evil portal from the Cybran. This, well, Ball of Doom. And they tally in. Ed Lordy does have nano, but it's nowhere near enough to take on the Cybran laser, and they immediately tally out. Take out a max. They might take out 2 maxes. Get 3 banks of veterancy and basically have more HP than when they start back with all of this stuff. There are restorers moving in, but I don't think those will get there in time to actually kill this ACU before it gets out. Yeah. There it goes. Back in the back in a safe position right here. Infection ratio immediately going for the gun upgrade to get the higher range. Something you actually see quite often nowadays, because with that you can outrange the T1 PD tele defense. And if you tele into someone who didn't have tele defense before and kill them, then you can assume that the teammates will most likely go for some sort of tele defense. Meaning that you want something to at least outrange the T1 tele defense. Though those Ravagers up here, currently in the base of purple, in the main base of purple, are basically just the ultimate tele defense because, well, at this position they will cover everything that's important. And the C1BD also being placed ideally in the direction of the ACU that's the furthest away from the Ravager and the least covered. Meaning that is easier to defend. Info action ratio does actually end up cancelling gun, which is, well, looking at this stuff at the push coming in, that makes complete sense. They tally in behind the Megaliths. Also, really smart move because Megaliths cannot fire backwards. And if they can just laser the Megaliths to death from behind, that is going to work out quite well. Though the Megaliths move forward and thus not too effective, but... well, okay, Monkey is moving in, that can be a big threat. They need to be super careful on this. They do take fire off the Monkey Lord and they end up dying. Right, yes. Was a very ballsy move that sadly not work out for them. Sadly for them, it did not work out. And we have shells flying. The Scathers did finish the rapid-fire artillery of the Cybran. Finally, not only rapid-fire artillery, but also technically mobile artillery. As it can move, it has to deploy, and deploying it takes ages. But NATO salvo goes out, and already a lot of damage done to the main base of Gugay. That shield is down, and the next volley that will land will most likely take out a bunch of Pigeons, and never mind, that Pigeon does actually survive. But shield does go down. Now, Sunseki is apparently not actually AFK, they still have some stuff, including a Monkey Lord right here. And they are Cybermen, so they could maybe go for a tele. Try and take that out. Let's see. Currently any plans to take out the Scathers, which just pulled in for a moment. I guess it was moved a slight bit. And there goes its initial shot with the arms spread out. Sort of a leading shot, though, well, leading shots only make sense if you wait for it to impact to guesstimate your, or to have a good guess at your trajectory. And with this kind of setup, it's completely pointless anyway, because, well, with those spinning barrels, you're gonna hit everything but the thing you have been you want to target. These Scathers being a fuck everything in that general direction kind of weapon. And especially with without a lot of shielding, really good, because it just takes out your entire base. Basically, solution to Scathers is a lot of shield assistance, a lot of shields, because the individual shells of the Scathers don't do much damage, but you have just so many, and you just saturate just such a large area that defending a single point against Scathers is doable. Defending an entire base against the Scathers is basically impossible. Because normal shields, if they are not assisted, would still fail. And that's not too great. Beta now going for tele as well. I guess the intention is to try and take out that Scathers. And that can definitely work out. Big push out from Gagaya in the west. Taking out the base that once belonged to Adlordi. And purple only having, well, only in quotation marks, having those two fat boys defending currently. Though those two monkeys are still very healthy, and if those do continue pushing in, then those will just wreck that. However, unconventional solution for that currently out. Just using the Scathers, or one volley of the Scathers for point defense purposes. Moving that in very close, and there's actually a second Scather started. Multiple Scathai will just mean that there's nothing left of the map. Because we will just saturate such a large area that, yeah, the map will just be gone. I mean, yeah, I'm a bit overestimating it or overstating it, but it's basically what it does. Because against multiple Scathai, it's gonna be impossible to shield because you would need so much build power. Okay, Beta does actually manage to tally in and does take out the Scather, the first Scathers. And the second one does seem to go down in the ACU explosion. That's 100k that mass right here. But Beta did lose their life in the process since there was a whole bunch of auto turrets. So not too great. Infection ratio saying see you guys on Gaia cast. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint. As per my knowledge, at the time of recording, this did not make it into a Gaia cast. Maybe there will be a cast maybe he will be casting this game, or he is casting this game. Or maybe he already casted this game and just hasn't uploaded it at the time of the recording. I don't know. I'm not in any contact with him, and even if I was, I wouldn't ask about any game that he's casting. But I hope me casting this is good enough. Now, Beta suggesting that their team go for either Scathus or Mabel, and Gugay is going for a Scathus. They are at 1.3k mass income, so they can definitely afford a Scathus. And I expect that they would probably get that up a lot faster than their opponent. Also, just let's take a look at total reclaim on the map again, and 600k mass reclaim. None of the players reclaiming properly. Okay, Gagai gets a free pass because they are reclaiming and they just cannot spend it right now. Like, they just don't have the build power to spend them all of that reclaim. They are getting 800 from reclaim. Just income. They have... Wait, is that... No, that's not... I was about to say, is that over 600k mass reclaim, but no, that's just around 70k mass reclaim now. Which is still a lot. And don't get me wrong, that's a ridiculous amount of reclaim. Now, down here we have Monkey and Megalith pushing in against what was once the main base of Gagay. But Scathus and of course this coming in didn't do it any favors. Zykus right here desperately trying to fire. Nice thing about Zykus is that they are just super tanky with 19k HP. And the Monkey does go down for purple, but that still leaves one Megalith. And another Monkey that just came in. And yeah, the Monkey for Gugay does go down as well. So there goes that. How's that Scathus looking? Well, over halfway done. How's this one looking? Not too far done. Though getting more energies reclaiming the that Scathus would probably be a good idea. However, their main base is completely gone as well now. They are getting completely forced back. That push of Fat Boys and Monkeys that started back quite a bit back from Gugay is just devastating. Now Megalith and Monkeys out. There are two more Monkeys out for Gugay and of course the one for Senzigi. Currently Pink's going out for the AC of Senzigi. I expect that is maybe for the stuff to move because those two fours are way too close. Bunch of T2PD going up as well. And those ACUs should run. Beta throwing out some of those taunts. And that Scathus is about to finish. Whatever will be left by the time it finishes of the base of purple, or the base of purple, will probably get completely annihilated. Now that stuff is also taking so much fire currently. Gugay does pull out because, well, Megalith closing in. Monkey also moving in right here on a flanking maneuver. Two Monkeys go after the Megalith, that may be enough to actually take that out. Especially because I'm pretty sure that the Monkeys aren't actually the primary target. Well, no they are. But it's below half health. Still one Monkey alive. Bunch of fire getting in there as well, another Monkey coming in, so yeah, that Megalith will go down. However, Sensei will go down to this Monkey. Well, I mean, the one mass that they provided to their team supporting these Sekus isn't too much. It's not too much of a loss for Gugei, who has been taking care of everything. That's a bit annoying. Now, the orange Scalthus does finish, and yeah, not much left of the space. The Scaff is 30% done, but there's now Monkey Lord, Bricks, stuff like that, Fat Boy moving in. Never mind, those are Percy's and Bricks. Okay, so you have both. And yeah, the Purple ACU will... I think a few of these shells will actually hit the Purple ACU. No they won't. Because it's a Scathus, it can't hit anything. Well, it hits everything, but everything at the same time. Which isn't too great. And more crucially, it doesn't hit the thing you want it to hit. But it still definitely deserves the title of Game Ender because, well, that's still devastating. Right, bunch of stuff taking getting damaged. Purple trying to pull out of there, but getting blocked by all of these NGs. And with those Titans now moving in. That AC does not have gun, only survivability upgrades, so not looking. So that's not looking too great. Beta pointing out there's time to control K, and Purple does oblige and ends up control K-ing this. Right, with this replay does end, and the Southern team, or at least Gugei, does end up winning. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like. And yeah, there will be more casts like these coming out, so you can always subscribe. This was streamed live on Twitch, so a link to that will be down in the description as always. Like, maybe check out the streams. They are usually on Fridays and Saturdays, sometimes on Mondays at around 8 PM Central European time. So if you want to check those out, always welcome. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you again in a future cast or stream. Until then, bye!